Hey, good morning, y'all. It's your buddy JB here, up before the sun is, on my way to go open a new Ashley home store, moving in several truckloads, getting the job done. Hey, this morning I want to add some value to your leadership and management practices by sharing an observation from little kids soccer. You know, I have a couple of kids, Paxton 7, Addison 4, and they're playing soccer. And as I watch them play, it's not uncommon to just see a big herd, a big cluster of kids kind of following the ball around. Not really making an impact in the game, just kind of following the other players. At times, I've worked with my son in particular on this, about being in his position, about being available for a pass, about making an impact. And I'm one of these parents that sometimes I coach from the sidelines and I have a little bit of intensity. And sometimes I'm like, son, get where you need to be. Son, make an impact. Son, stop the ball, kick it. You know, I'm excited, I'm animated, I'm cheering for my kid. And you know, sometimes he hears me do that, and out of his need to perform, out of his need to please me, whatever it is, he'll start running around frantically. He'll run from one side of the field to the other. He'll totally be out of position, but he will sprint all over the field to show that he is trying, to show that he is making an effort. And it is a ton of activity, but it is very little impact. A ton of energy exerted, but no focused movement towards the goal, towards the desired objective. And as I have been fortunate enough to not only work in my own stores with some great leaders, but also to visit the stores of my peers, it is very common that the management practices I observe from sales managers in particular are very similar to the little kids' soccer. A whole lot of activity without impact. And I want to be clear this morning, that's the principle I want to underscore. Activity without impact means nothing. Activity without impact means nothing. A while back, we had a sales manager and she just liked to walk around with some of the top producers. She looked like she was helping, looked like she was engaged, but really she was hiding from having to do anything that would have truly have been meaningful or impacted the day's outcome. In the case of our stores, we expect P2I, position to impact. We expect that to be the posture of our managers, which means they need to be aware of where the most vulnerable sales associates are. We call our sales associates business owners. So if we have business owners that have just started, we would expect our managers to be in P2I, guaranteeing the outcomes, guaranteeing the sales of those who are most vulnerable, while at the same time being a resource to some of the more mature writers on the team. And often what I observe is that instead of being focused and disciplined and guaranteeing the outcomes of the vulnerable few, managers run around and they're straightening pillows and they're running to this person, running to that person. They get sucked into the sale to the point where they're doing the whole thing for somebody. And there are times for demonstration and it's a whole lot of activity, but then all of a sudden you run your numbers around 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, or maybe you run them at the end of the day, and you find that there's a 20% close ratio or a poor average ticket, or somebody's been allowed to take 17 ups or 12 ups and generated no sales. Let me tell you something. That's a reflection of a manager who might have a lot of activity but zero impact. Activity without impact is meaningless. Managers and leaders, listen to me. Stop hiding. Stop hiding by jumping in on a sale that's already going well. Stop hiding by walking around and choosing the urgent over the important. Guarantee outcomes by being where you need to be and being disciplined and leading your team up. Know what's going on around you. Activity without impact is meaningless. In the end, we either beat last year or last year beats us. That doesn't happen with a ton of activity and no impact. You have to have focused energy pointed in the right direction to guarantee an impact so that you are not like the kids on the soccer field running around in a herd, expending a ton of energy, but really not driving towards the goal. Be great, my Slam fam.